Today is not just any day. It's a step that could change everything, even if it's not the finish line. For almost 3 years, my car has been my home. It has been my shelter, my little cocoon, where I survive joy and pain, gratitude and struggle. It's a fine line that I walked again and again.
Hi, my name is Calista, a car dweller.
But this chapter is shifting. I'm in Northern Virginia today. And that matters. Today matters.
I had a van lined up for several weeks now. It was $7,000 at first, and then the seller dropped it down to about $4 for me, 4.5, and I really thought it was mine. I don't know how. I had set up a GoFundMe, but I barely raised anything. It was $70 completely, and $60 of that I sent to my mom for a hotel room, and I don't regret that decision, and I'm sorry. I don't really like GoFundMe, and I know that was probably not a very good decision, but I don't regret it. But really what has been keeping me afloat the last few days has been the jewelry that I've made. Every single piece that I've made with my own hands, and I appreciate every sale helping me hang on just a little bit longer. And between all of you, I am so grateful for my jewelry sales meeting just over $200. And I didn't know how much I would need that $200 until today. The exact amount that I needed to push my life forward. I know a lot of you guys see me here, and I've always been and always will be transparent. I will always be direct. So here's what happened. Before I could make anything with my GoFundMe happen, the man holding the van for me, he sold it right underneath my feet. He blocked me last Wednesday. He sold it for full price, and that crushed me. I can admit this now. I felt defeated. I felt disgusted that there was this hope that just disappeared so quickly for me. For 2 nights in a row, I cried myself to sleep, waiting for my hospital advocate to convince the surgery scheduler to get me in sooner, waiting for this van, just knowing that I'm in pain already, and realizing that I had no way forward. And I stood out in the dark crying. I felt like life had backed me into this corner at 1 a.m. It was gross. But the next day, I made a decision. I tried something different. Instead of just waiting for the perfect situation, I put myself out there. I made an offer. I searched Facebook Marketplace. I found vans $2,000 to $6,000. I messaged them each honestly. I only had $3,000, and I knew it was low. I told them not to worry if they couldn't respond, but I was basically in need of a home. I knew that it was a lowball offer and that it was just all that I had. Felt terrible about that. And some people might call that reaching or cringe, but I don't see it that way. I see it as faith, honesty, the truth. And the truth is I requested a loan for $3,000. I didn't have answers yet. I put it out to God and the universe that I needed help. And then this happened. I found the van. Kelly Blue Book put it at $3,000 to $4,000, but it was listed on Campers for way more because the conversion inside. The gentleman agreed to $3,000. He had it listed with and without electrical setups. He can sell the electric and make up the difference separately. A fridge, a stove, some storage, all for me. The doors need some work, but it's not something that scares me, and I couldn't believe it, that after everything that I've lost, this was suddenly possible for me. I informed the owner that I plan to live in it, move into it, and he spent over 30 minutes on the phone with me, walking me through every single issue. He explained the electrical setup, he explained how to connect things, and he gave me suggestions on how to make it as comfortable as possible. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He told me about the doors not opening right, about the lack of power, about the fact that I wouldn't even be able to stand fully inside of it. And then he actually asked me, is this really what you want? I told him the truth. After years of just living in a sedan, anything bigger anything with room to slide around in and to sit in the driver's seat without being surrounded by all my stuff, that would be gold. That would be a home. More than I'd had in a very long time. And I told him I'd take an hour to think about it. But deep down, I already knew. I wanted it. I called him back and we agreed to meet. We agreed on the price. $3,000. Money I still didn't even have yet. And I was ready to make it happen. And then out of nowhere, he decided to bless me. And in a text, he explained that he had originally pictured this man being towards someone who could use it just for camping. He hadn't really thought about someone living in it full time. It's something that he'd done. And because of that, he decided to gift it to me. He gave me the van. And as we know, the hospital had already asked me to choose my health over my job. And at the time, neither of us knew that the very next day, the bank would deny me the loan because I couldn't show a recent enough paycheck. I previously thought it would go through, for sure. But God and the universe had different ideas. So close to victory, to health, to recovery. So close to stretching out and sitting up and having a real place that felt like mine. So close. But he decided to change my life. If you'd like to follow along as this next chapter unfolds, you're welcome to subscribe and stay with me on this journey. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Share in the comments something that you are joyful about or that God has given you. Maybe it's something that the universe placed in your path. Life doesn't hand out blessings without tests. Just when I thought it was all settled, there was a catch. There's always a catch. That catch? It was distance. He was more than 400 miles away from me. That meant I had to make some kind of plan. I was definitely not in a place in Virginia around people that could take me. I don't even have more than my driver's seat in the car. I decided to drop my car off somewhere safe, walk over to Enterprise to get another vehicle, and make the long drive down and Uber the last hour. And of course, my first plan was a U-Haul, but finding out that I can't take the truck to a different location anymore, that just kind of ruined that plan a bit. This ended up being like a lot of moving parts. And if it worked, it would mean freedom.
So I got coffee that doesn't really fit in the cup holder because the cup's short, so I had to put something in the cup holder. But I got coffee, I got gas, and I am ready to continue the journey. Ooh, she's pretty. She's pretty.
Here we made it to the other Enterprise, currently in Tennessee. It's 6 long hours, so almost 7 actually. But I made it! Excited. I'm just waiting right now on the Uber, and then I'll meet up with I want to call him a giver for giving me the van. I'm not gonna lie, this has been a very painful trip. Everything hurts. Oh my God, there are cats. There's 2 cats. I want to talk about why I'm choosing Vanlife instead of staying in my car. Living in my car has always had its advantages. It's smaller, easier to hide, and at night I actually feel more invisible. But that has always made me feel safer in certain ways because it doesn't draw too much attention. But even with those benefits, a van opens up possibilities that a car just can't give me. Let's start with safety in another sense. Privacy. In a car, my bed sits right at eye level. In a van, the living area is separate from the cab, so I have more control over my space. I can tuck away, shut the curtains, and actually feel like I have a barrier between me and the world. You know, I had this whole thing planned out, what I was gonna say, you know, just speechless. I know she's like kind of hard to drive, but oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not saying I'm stranded here, but I had an issue that we need a notary, and neither of us realized that. So in North Carolina, it's a little bit different than the state that I'm from, and just reading the back of it, realized that we can't make it without a notary. So I'm here getting tonight's meal. I think I'm gonna make some rice with some vegetables and chicken and some sauce, and just call it. Yeah. Now I don't know what her gender was in the past, but she now.
too. She's so pretty.
It's not about less visibility outside, it's about feeling less exposed on the inside. And that's where health and comfort come.
I truly can't believe this is mine now. This is a little nerve-wracking. Well, we're getting gas for the first time. Let's see how much she runs. She's basically on empty. Still going. She's hungry. Kind of thing that had kind of pushed me away from wanting to get a van for a while, just because of the fact that it takes a lot of gas. So we're almost at 40, and I wanted to fill her up, so might have to go back in and pay for some more. He is allowing me to stay in his driveway, and he allowed me to have 2 surge protectors and to plug up to a cord to his house, just to kind of have something for the night. So that's what that looks like. So it has lights in here, but these are 120 watt lights, so they do have to be plugged up to something. So they're on the cord right now that's sticking out of the window. Let's look at this new place. Things, little windows. It's really cool. There's a sink here. It's a little spray bottle. Gas, like I said, it has gas in it right now. There's a lighter. And that's a fridge. These little containers to hold things. That's better. And then these come up. And then there's these little empty spaces. I'm sure I can find something to cover that really well. There's looks like a cigarette lighter and some outlets. There's a couple of these that go to some lights that aren't in right now because they broke. And this is the bed area. So really excited about that. And then here's a fan. Don't let the size kind of fool you, because I'm literally sitting right now on a chair that has shortened legs. I've been uncomfortable all day for the most part. But look, I have privacy. I have privacy. Very nice. There's a bowl. He left me a lot of stuff with this, honestly. He really was a great guy. Helped a lot. Yeah, look at that. That's quite nice. Privacy. What is that? Like, I got privacy in the car until the had issues with it. For now, this first night in it, this is what it'll potentially look like. And then when I get it back, I won't have power to make all these lights light up like this. But it's so nice to have. I can find alternate replacements that aren't so power heavy. You always see the day of getting a van. The feeling of it is so different than I can actually imagine. I love it. It's so sweet. It's super cute. It feels good. I can't believe it's mine. I drove over 7 hours today, and my Uber drive was an hour as well. Got the windows open. I should probably close this little door. Close my door. I can close my door! I can close my door! God, I can't get over that. I can't get over that. Hold on. So here's the part where I just gotta sanitize some things, because I'm not saying anything's dirty. It's a new place. This guy's actually pretty clean. He took the time to take the water out of the sink and clean it with Clorox, rinse it through multiple times, poured it out, put fresh water in there. It's good to drink. It's cast iron sink. I'm really excited about that. So I'm just gonna spray the bed really well, since I do need to sleep in it tonight. I thought that I would take it home to where my car is. Not home, but that Planet Fitness spot that I can go tell you about, and kind of change out my bedding. But I did bring a pillow just in case, and I did bring a blanket just in case, and I brought some baby wipes. I did shower this morning before I left, so I'm really hoping that I will sleep well tonight. I'm sure that I will. It's foam. It's similar to mine. I just won't have a new pillow, but I have my pillow. As you can see, it's been such a long day. Tonight we're gonna have a chili. So it's that chicken chow mein. I love this stuff. Basically, well, we should basically turn on the stove first. And that's where health and comfort come.
Living in a car long term is brutal on my body. There's no room to stretch, no real place to sit up other than the front seat, and even sleeping feels cramped and temporary. The van means I can have a better bed, more airflow, and space to move without getting hurt. Even with my medical needs, this isn't about luxury. It's about being able to rest, recover in a way that a car will not allow. This car will hold more for sure, but it's cluttered, crammed in boxes stacked on top of each other, scattered everywhere under my bed, in my trunk. I have to move my bed just to cook or do laundry. I have to dig through the trunk for supplies, climb onto the topper for winter blankets and water boots. Everything is a shuffle. The van changes that. I can organize all of my things properly. And yes, I will have to downsize yet again, but I'll have a sink, a cooking area, and I still use Planet Fitness for showers, which is totally acceptable under the circumstances. I could use a workout. Really incredible meal. Oh, gotta get my foot. I'm so excited. You love Lich Way? Just like that. I did treat myself to one of these. Vans are still built for hauling and traveling, so they're naturally better suited for the kind of life that I'm living. And then dignity and lifestyle. It's not just about my car being a roller coaster of joy as well as survival anymore. I can decorate it. I can make it cozy on the inside. I feel like I belong in my own space again. I won't feel like a target. Even though I can't stand in this one, just having the cab separated from the living area makes it feel completely different. In a van, I can finally say I live in a van, instead of feeling like I'm trapped in a car that went from being my safe place to a painful little cage. The van lets me reclaim my solitude in a way that feels peaceful, not suffocating. As these tumors grew, the need for space grew along with them. And yeah, for me, van life isn't about chasing some picture-perfect dream. Just stepping into a new chapter of life. It's not the end goal, it's just a step forward. And there's still fear. Every day, I risk independence being on the line. It's things people don't really have to think about if you have an apartment. Choosing the wrong spot can mean the knock. In the past, that might not have been so bad, just embarrassment and moving along, but now there's fines and being treated like I'm crazy for living this way. But today I feel safer than before. I feel grateful. I'm willing to take the risk.
Yeah. It's like a little bit longer than my other bed, so that's really nice. I have to definitely add some foaming to this. It's a little bit harder than what I'm used to. I'm very happy to have it. It's like almost midnight. I started to fall asleep and I actually got cold. I didn't expect to be cold, to be honest. Good morning. I'm so tired because it was cold. It was so cold last night. It was so cold. First stop is coffee. He's gonna get up and he's gonna come out and we're gonna go to the notary and get that title notarized. And then after that, we're gonna go and just separate. And I'm gonna come back to Virginia. I'm gonna hit the first DMV that I come across just to get the car set up, just to get the title legit and get tags, because I don't want to drive too much further into Virginia. Oh, she kind of filled my black tank last night. Yeah, it's my pee bottle. And I think I'll just keep that under this thing. Because that's the reality of life. Oh my god. The way it looks out there, I can't really show you much more than that. Goodness gracious. There's just issues have occurred where we can't find a notary right now. So this poor guy probably thinks that I'm following him. Maybe we're going to the same place. I don't know. At this point, we have been to 4 different locations trying to find someone who's a notary, and you know, not banks, obviously. You have to have an account for those, but God, it's so pretty down. Oh my God. But we are going to the next place, and we are going to do our best. I'm kind of nervous about some of these parking locations. They're kind of scary. So I just got everything notarized. I just went in a parking lot and parked and got insurance. And now I'm on my way to Virginia. On the way back, I will stop at the very first DMV so that I am able to get this car some license plates. I got the Carolina barbecue sweet and tangy. I could not pass up the opportunity of leaving North Carolina without a barbecue. The gas station that I just came from, they had like a little pizzeria thing, and that's where I got that barbecue. And they are still being affected by Hurricane Helene today. They said they've been hit really hard with electrical issues back to back. Like whenever they work in areas around here, they lose power, and then they've had issues with the power companies, the power lines. And honestly, it's beautiful out here. It's just there's areas of debris. The most nerve-wracking moment just now. I'm in Tennessee right now. It's just a tiny edge that I have to get to Virginia, and I just passed by their local PDA. Or police department, whatever you want to call it. So we're now on the interstate or the highway or something, but we're taking this baby over 65 miles per hour, and I said, woo! Oh my God, this is crazy. It's a little bit wobbly though, like the steering is a little loose, but you know, it's not too much different from my other van I had years ago. Yes, we are on our way. I love the mountains, but God, they're scary when you're driving something this big. Oh my God, I'm going 70. Oh my God. I mean, she's doing fine. It's the potholes. What's getting me pretty hard right now is the potholes. To the first DMV that I could find, and I don't know if I'll have to have an appointment here, but I hope they take walk-ins. Frankie is mine. I got plates. Miss Frankie is mine. I am so we're gonna go put plates on her. I'm so grateful. I can't believe this is finally happening. I have a van. She's a little expensive though, for free, but I'm so happy. I still have several hours ahead of me, but even though I'm still in survival mode, it feels different. And my car has kept me alive, and it wore me down. And this van doesn't fix everything, but it eases the weight. It feels so good. It feels so good. And I'm hungry, and I might make something in a minute. I'm trying really hard not to stop at like a dollar store or something. Oh my God, this feels so good. I know. What? Another gas stop, so we'll see how much this one's gonna need. Road since 10:30, but I've made 2 stops specifically, and then I hit traffic. So I did stop at the DMV, and then I stopped just to take a break to walk. It's kind of painful getting through it. It's pretty painful. I'm getting through it. I'm just can't wait to get back to my car. I'm so scared of it being in the place that it is for too long. Drink, baby, drink. That's where she settled. I've lived in a van before. I'll be honest, I hated it. I hated van life back then. It wasn't really life. It was a shell. It was an empty van with a blanket. I worked 13-hour days. Spent money to my nanny. I lived in the van and then in my Daytona Shelby for 6 months after, in the Costco parking lots, pretending to fall asleep, reading books at the park, showering at work.
That was my van life. Not that hashtag today. That was survival, not living. This time, it will be different. This time, I'm starting with a space that already has what I need. Room to breathe. But most importantly, I'm not starting from a place of strength. I'm starting from weakness. My surgery is coming, and I need this van to heal.
I am basically at a destination right now, and I could park here for a little bit. It was really a long and painful drive, and I'm definitely over it. I have to move the door handle, or the door panel, off of the bed and move that over, so I don't know. I just put it over there. That's the best it's going to get for now. I feel like the gremlin is like, it's all mine. It's all mine. I'm back where the car is, and I don't want to lie to you guys and say I'm ready to sleep back in the car. I want to stay in here tonight again. I'll shower tomorrow. Good night.